Hey, you guys, I have so much to share with you this week, and it's big dream energy. I feel like so much has happened since I talked to you guys last, and it's only been a week. A lot of that's because I have big ass goals, right? Like, what do they call it? Big ass, hairy goals, Like, so big it's beyond the scope of believing I can do it. So, losing 100 pounds, I do believe that because I've done it before, I've been there. And I did it in a way that I know I can replicate it because I created a system. And part of what I've gone through these last couple of years is I've regained and had all my health things and adjustments to my lifestyle. Part of all of that was working this system that's going to take the weight off here together. And I'm going to show you how. And then the other part of that is me quitting my job, which turned out to be part of this. Like, as my body got bigger and I was just eating all the things, so much of it linked back to me just not being able to conform to fit in this friggin' box anymore. I'm done having my soul smushed. And she just couldn't take it. She was like, we're out of here. As soon as I quit, it was like this just weight was alleviated. Now I'm dealing with just the logistics of the weight loss, right? Which that's easy. We all know how to lose weight. It's the mindset shit that gets us all bogged down, right? So, okay, I digress as usual. Welcome to the channel where you get squirrels. I'm going to figure out how to make, like on the YouTube thing, little squirrels run across the channel every time I go off topic. This is when I'm best, when I'm just riffing with you guys. So, let's go. This week, I did so many things. First of all, I set up my habit stack to be that I am going to the pool in the morning, and that has been really good. I missed 2 days just because my body was frigging tired, like exhausted. So I had to take a couple rest days, and I just honored that. It wasn't because I didn't want to create the habit or get there, right? So that was cool. I was talking to Lexi today, my oldest. She's 31 and lives in Phoenix, and she's getting this apartment. I've been scoping these places out. They took this resort where I used to play Resort Addy. If you've been following me for a while, I lived in the neighborhood and I would I'd get a coffee at their coffee shop. I'd go sit in the pool area and do my journaling after I hiked the mountain. It was just like living the dream, right? So they converted, the Hilton sold part of this. They had these casitas or whatever, and they sold them and converted them into homes. And so anyhow, my daughter's applying to live there now. And I'm like, look at you just living my dream. You're going to be like Resort Addie every day, right? I'm like, you can just go to the resort. She can use the lazy river. Like, it's like you're living at a resort, but you're in your own condo. It's not even really an apartment. It's got its own garage and entrance. Anyhow, you guys, I'm living vicariously. And then I got thinking, because I said, Lex, you're living my dream. You're becoming Resort Addie. And she said, yeah, and Millie's becoming an author. Because, I've always wanted to write a book too. I'm like, well, shoots. You guys are just living it up. And then I'm over here creating my badass alter ego. And we got this school group open. And we are having so much fun over there, you guys. It's been open 2 or 3 days. And I'm just having a blast. I think everybody else is too. We're building our alter egos and we're applying that to weight loss. Back when I was 300 pounds before I had this mindset shift, I couldn't yet imagine being Addie at 180 even. And I'm 5'9", people always ask that, right? Like, how tall are you? So I'm 5'9". So like I look pretty good right at Wonderland. I got to tell you, I'm not mad at Wonderland, and that was part of my battle, even getting lower and where my body, you hit the set temperature. Dr. Jason Fung talks about this, where you hit your set point where your body is just comfortable there. And then you need to kind of shock it into a new era, a new realm. Maybe this is why I look in weight loss at every 20 pounds. I'm creating a new nervous system that can even handle becoming that person that is that. right? Because everything changes as you shift and get smaller. The amount of food you need, the amount of exercise you want to do and that your body's capable of, how strong you are if you don't keep up moving the weight. Like, I'm so friggin' strong right now, you guys, because I'm so big. Like, I do chaturangas, I do my downward dog. And I'm like, I noticed last time as I got skinny that that muscle went away. So this time I want to get like one of those vests where I hang the weight on, like do that kind of stuff. I'm building this alter ego. We're having fun in this school group, and so are these other women. And they're like, oh my gosh, it's like giving me permission that I didn't like just jack it all up. Nothing's wrong. Nothing, I'm not broken. Maybe I just need to approach things a different way. So the alter ego prototype I made, which is this alter ego quiz you can go and take, you're either a witch, a warrior, a queen, or an alchemist. I mean, that's just fun right there, right? If you don't think that's fun, probably bomb off this channel because we like to dance in a little bit of having some friggin' fun. So interestingly enough, I took the alter ego and I was already Slayer. So back like 8 years ago, when I created my own alter ego, I was like, what would be so cool? What are my core values? And I came with this warrior woman who ended up looking kind of like Black Widow, right? I had the blonde hair and all of that back then. I was like, yeah, I'm Black Widow. And it became, what would Slayer do? And I had a sword and leather and all that. When I took the archetype quiz, I thought, oh, this is going to be interesting to see who I am. And you can change like skins, right? So we call it the archetype is the main one. And then the skin is what you are, like what type of that thing you are. So I get tested as a warrior. And big shock there for people who know me. I don't know why I thought maybe this would change, but it didn't change, you guys. It didn't change. So I'm a warrior, and there's like 5 or 6 different types of warrior you can be, and I'm a slayer. I'm like, "Of course I am. Of course I'm a slayer." Psh, we could all wrote that one home, right? It's interesting who else are slayers. So we haven't even created names yet, all of that. I had to tell you that today because I asked my alter ego bot, it's a custom GPT I made. I put everything I know about alter egos. It's got all my podcast information in there, life coaching stuff, like everything is in this alter ego bot, right? And it's part of it's a custom GPT, they call it. So it goes right in your chat GPT. And probably most of you are using that anyway. So you just download this and then you get your type and your archetype and you ask it. So today I said, I made this post about, hey, let's talk about food today. Where do you guys struggle to eat healthy? I realized for me, it's if I don't have a really good plan, it all goes to hell. And this was part of my challenge for corporate America was more time related. It was like I'd make a plan. I was just too tired to do the food prep, all of that stuff. So I made this post and I thought, oh, this will be fun to ask our alter egos. So I went and asked mine. I said, okay, I'm a warrior, I'm a slayer, and I have this resistance to plans. And I know I've got that rebel shit going on too. You guys know the one. Like we have a pink lady vibe going on, and I'm the Rizzo, right? Like you're the rebel of the group. And my whole being rebels. And when I first started planning, I was a rebel, right? But now I even friggin' made a planner. I love to plan, but my food is still a whole nother. I'm like, I don't want that today. Right. And like making yourself show up and eat it anyway because you said you were going to, that's always been a challenge. So I asked it and it said, you need to just pick it basically told me I need to make a food protocol. And which was great because I was planning to do that in the group anyway. I'm like, okay, we're going to make food protocol on there. But it was really cool to see it give me tips and tricks to work with my type, right? This is what's missing in all of our weight loss, especially with diets. Like we're not going to want to eat the same thing. You might be a queen who loves to prepare her food for an hour. And I'm like, get that shit done. Right. My daughter is a queen, my oldest daughter. And she definitely likes to take her time in the kitchen, which I love when I'm there because I benefit from it. But I don't want to be that person. I'm not gonna do that, you know what I mean? So anyhow, you guys, I got this plan from my chatbot and all of that, and I have a really good food plan for the week. And the scale had not moved where I had wanted it to. I was going to switch my weigh into Friday last week, and I was up to like 290, and I'm going to weigh in here live. So my weight isn't ever a secret. I've been weighing live on Facebook since 2018. Want Fridays to be my weigh-in date, so I've been trying to shift that and figure out how to do all this tech and live stream on YouTube. And I was up to like 290. I was like, well, I'm not weighing in today. Right? So I weighed in on Sunday on my normal day and was like, great, 288, but I'm behind the track of losing my 20 pounds for this quarter. So I was like, okay, what are we going to do? And I decreased my eating window. So I'm going from, and these are actually tips I picked up after I had lost the weight when it got harder for me to lose weight. Like I can still lose weight right now and not do so much fasting and stuff like that. I love to fast. Have you guys intermittent fasted? I love it. I don't it just is so much easier and it's so good for your body. Like you get cell rejuvenation after a 36-hour fast, you get a dopamine hit. But what I'm doing for right now is I'm just extending my fast as long as I can. Like today I haven't eaten yet. I have a bulletproof coffee, which is MCT oil in grass-fed butter blended with a coffee. And so I'm having that, and then it's like probably almost 2 now, and then I'm gonna go make a salad. I got my salad drawer together. So back when I was traveling in my RV around the country, I used to just pull the whole drawer out and set it on my little counter and chop and make lunch. And I bribed myself with a TV show, put my little earbuds in, watch a show, and I loved it. And I'm like, I am just going to recreate that. So I've got a drawer in the fridge here, and it's got all my salad stuff in it. I'm just going to pull it out and chop it and enjoy it. I've got lamb chops for lunch today. And it's just going to be like really one big meal. And my food cutoff time that we decided at the quarterly planning event is 7 o'clock. I agreed, okay, no eating past 7. So if I am hungry between that salad and the lamb and want maybe a little something sweet sometimes, right? I've got my Coco June yogurt, which they started putting tapioca in. I'm gonna have to find a new natural coconut now. I'm like, why did you jack up a good thing, people? It was the whole reason I could eat that brand. I'll take the coconut yogurt and put in blueberries, chocolate chips, because I like a little crunch in there. So just use like a little like tablespoon of chocolate chips in there and banana if I have banana. But Millie's been going through bananas like she's a little monkey. So I haven't got my hands on a banana. I think I had one today. I think I have a banana for dessert. I'll have to stop and get us more bananas. I don't know. She's going bananas for bananas. I've got my salad thing set up because I was like, all right, Ad, what are you going to do? You made this commitment. The scale isn't moving. You know why it's not moving. First of all, when I break my fast that early, I'm just hungry all day. Like I'm not hungry yet. Right? Like, this is a thing once you start fasting, you know? And if you're a woman please consult your doctor, all of that stuff. You do you. Go look into all of this. But if you're a woman in perimenopause or you're still having your cycle, you need to be mindful of when you are fasting. I am postmenopause, so I do try to still mix it up and have breakfast here and there, but it's not as critical for my hormone cycle. When you're still in your cycle, and you can follow Dr. Mindy Pelz for information on this if you want to learn more about fasting and how great it is for our bodies. Who's the other guy I like? There's a uh, Indian doctor from Southern Florida. I want to say Dr. Patrisky or something like that. He's so good. And he talks about curing cancer with fasting because it is such a rapid healing measure for the body. I mean, it's just mind blowing shit. I have a lot of stuff on my podcast, on the Audible version of the podcast, you guys, that about fasting and about hormones and about the benefits to your body. Oh, with that being said, that's what I'm like, I'm gonna extend my fast. I'm gonna OMAD a couple of days where I have one meal, right? One big meal, and I feel so satisfied. And I go to bed early and then I wake up and I'm like ready to rock. Do it again. Well, we'll see how this shapes up this week. Because it's usually like nighttime eating that'll get me. So last night I did get hungry and I ended up eating bread with a piece of turkey on it. And I'm, like, not a bread eater, so I gotta, like, figure that out, maybe eat a little bit later in the day so that the hunger doesn't hit me, like, right before I go to bed. But you can also do hacks like a, tablespoon of honey or something like that, but I didn't. I went in for the bread and the it's all right. I still dropped like a pound, so that's cool. But I just want you to know I got my eye on that ball and we're working it in the new school group. You can look and links in the podcast. Come join us, you guys. I'm also going to I did this event. So, this next version of me, you guys, I work on this future self version and getting in that energy and seeing it. And then I work on the thoughts of becoming her, the energy of becoming her. What are the things she does? Right? Like, oh, she's got a financial planner, she's got advisors, she doesn't even do the bookkeeping, things like that, that I'm starting to reach out in avenues like that because I would already, if I'm making $1 million a year or whatever, I'm already doing those things, right? If I weigh 100 pounds less, I'm already doing these things, right? Going to the pool, and making my salad at lunch, not eating so late. Or if I do eat a big meal out, like Millie and I like to go to the Cheesecake Factory, that I just naturally compensate the next day. And it was just such a part of who I was on my last weight loss journey. And it's going to be a part of who I am again, but it might look different. Like there's one thing I've learned, it's never say never. It might look different and I'm okay. I'm open with that. But I am going to use some of my go-tos to get the ball rolling here. So within the group, we are working on the alter egos right now, but I also want to I did this summit. Part of this future self version of me does things like speaks at summits. And I was like, well, I just signed up. And it was an Oracle card magic summit. And you guys, I use Oracle decks. I've got like my deck here. Every morning I use this as self leadership, self reflection. I think they're so much fun, and I've learned a lot from Oracle decks too. My first one was about chakras. My second one was the yogic path, and I was also in meditation teacher training. So it taught me Sanskrit. It taught me about Indian spirituality. It taught me all the levels of yoga, like through pulling cards. In the process, I started to really get in touch with my intuition, and I use it to guide my future self every day. So I did this really fun little 30-minute event at the summit where I guided people into their future self meditation. And we're in the heart space and we're feeling the energy. And I only had 30 minutes, right? So I had to make it like quick, like dropped them in that zone. We get that ball in the heart going, that energy of, oh my gosh, look at who I am, picture the future self, step in the future self. And then we ask the question from the space of your future self. And who is it you want to become, right? What do I need to let go of right now? What are the messages? And then we use the card decks to see what the messages are. And here's the thing about a card deck, you guys. Whatever deck you use or have, like sometimes the message will be in the picture. Sometimes it'll be in something the author wrote in a little book for me. And I know a lot of like Oracle and tarot card readers, they don't use the books, right? I use the book. I'm not that girl. Sometimes, not that I don't wanna be that girl, that would be awesome, but sometimes the message is in, like, the last sentence of what they wrote in the book, and I really think the universe sent me that sentence, right? And I wouldn't have had that sentence in me already, but I do a lot of self-reflection shit in the morning too, right? So, I do, morning pages from Julia Cameron, which is 3 pages of stream of conscious basically a thought dump, right? You're just writing whatever comes to your mind and getting it out onto paper. You're basically life coaching yourself. But if you get in flow with that, spirit can come through. You can hear some crazy shit out of your own pen and you're like, well, I didn't write that. What the hell is that? I know. Maybe a story for another time, you guys. So I got the school group open. We're hopping in there. I'm going to do a few fun webinars, like group master classes in the group. So get in there, like food protocols. I want to do that future self thing that I did at the summit because not everyone can make it. We're going to do it in the group. And then I've got some more really cool stuff coming. I'm part of this other group on school where we're learning really how to build community and how to make it fun and how to maximize yourself kind of out of the ways because it's not about you, right? Like gone are the guru days. No one wants to show up and get preached at. Do you know, like, people buy courses? And listen, I've made courses. I've sold a lot of courses. People don't do them. We buy them and then we have the best intentions, but we get 15% through it. We don't want more shit, right? We want more connection, more community, small little changes that are making a big impact in our life. Something like a custom GPT where I can say in the morning, hey, my plan looks like shit today and I'm overwhelmed. What do I need to do? And it'll tell me, all right, Slayer, breathe. Go to your go-to proteins. Go tell the girls in the group, you got this, right? It'll like talk with me about it. It's like I have a little coach in my GPT. I'm like, this was really genius, Ad. So what else, you guys? Okay. Um, big dream and energy, right? This is the energy of, oh my God, this fucking happened. Oh, this is what I had to tell you. So I had a message from my past self arrive today. So on the same day I opened the group this year, I was doing a glamp camp. So let me set the scene for you. I was working at corporate America. Thought I hated my life because of the job, but it wasn't the job. That's why I got so in the head with my job this time when it kind of was the job, right? But back then, figured out it was about loving myself. So I set off on this big adventure. I ended up leaving and I bought an RV and I was set to travel the country. And then I decided, well, before I go, because I was set to take off and I wanted to do workshops and events around the country, just helping women dream big and find their badass future selves and make it happen like I did, right? So I got myself in this little RV and I was like, I'm going to do an event here in Phoenix before I go. So we called it Glamp Camp. And I rented this big house near Camelback Mountain up in the mountains, and it slept like 20 of us, right? And we had this event, and I made a video for myself. So I'm going to find that and post it on the shorts. I think it's short enough. I can post on the shorts in my YouTube and on my other social channels. But you guys, it was basically, don't mind. I had like a little something on my nose. So, I can't remove it. So just give me some grace. But I told myself, it was like, you could see the awe on my face. It was like, this is a message for your future self. Don't ever stop dreaming. Don't ever stop thinking you can, and don't stop do like moving forward and dreaming big. And I said, don't stop visioning. And this is part of what I was telling you guys I did at the event, this future self vision. And it's part of what we do with the Me First Guide when I do the quarterly planning events, when we get into kind of the doing of the stuff of becoming that person, right? But first, there's the vision. If all you did was learn how to vision, and my past self was telling me, don't stop visioning. Oh my God, I can't believe we're doing this. And I showed myself, it was like the RV was a mess. I was packing up to go to this event, but it was like I blew my own friggin' mind. I left my corporate job, bought an RV to travel the country to show my youngest child America because she lived over here in Hawaii. And you know how it is in the States? You can like road trip places. Probably like this in Europe too, if you're watching from Europe, where you can just get and, go travel to other countries, right? When you live in the middle of the ocean on a little rock, you don't get to do that. It's a big deal. It takes forever to get anywhere. And then you go and you stay there for like a couple weeks, you stay in one place visiting people or whatever. So anyhow, I got the RV to be like adventure mom. And it only came from me saying, what would be the coolest thing ever? And then I started saying it out loud with you guys. I started saying, well, I'd buy an RV and travel the country. And then I'd go light you witches and bitches up and we do like events. And after Glamp Camp, though, and this little message to myself, I'll share it with you guys. But after that, COVID had hit and I ended up in my little RV. All the national parks closed, and it ended up being this big soul spiritual awakening on the floor of my rig in the middle of nowhere. No parks open. It was, like, so not what I thought it was going to be, and yet it was everything even more. That's when I learned how to teach meditation and really got into my yoga practice and opened up that yogic path side of me that I didn't even know existed. I had spent so much of my life embracing the masculine and being this type A go, go, go instead of tapping into that divine feminine, which is the intuition. Like how many times have you guys heard growing up, you hear the bullshit like, oh, that's women's intuition, right? Like it's always played down like it's a bad thing when it's such a good thing when you're hardwired to like already know and already feel. But I do think human design comes into play here too. Like, I was listening to some of the presenters at the Oracle Card Summit, and we're not all wired the same, right? Like, if they're all dialed in up here, I'm all open. I'm like, I need your input, and it, it, it gives us people with the open, we are more what does it say? It says we can be more creative with it or something. I don't know. There's pros and cons to both ways of stuff. But my intuition gate is very strong. My intuition gate is connected. I'm like pointing to my spleen or whatever it is. But for a long time, I didn't listen to that, you guys, but there was always a knowing. Right? There's always kind of like that knowing. And I told my daughter, I said, it's like when I play Clue. I like know. And she's like, "I knew you were cheating." I'm like, "I'm not cheating, it's my intuition." I don't know. Anyhow, you guys, it's a really fun way to tap into that too. But that message from myself on the same week 6 years ago, and now I'm opening this school. I'm off on this adventure again. Like, you just can't make this shit up. Isn't that crazy? That's just mind blowing. Like how and this happens through visioning and like because my next vision, my next big adventure for myself is to be a nomad, is to travel the world, is to do this that I love, like doing events like I did yesterday or having workshops with the women in the group or leading planning events. Like I frigging love this stuff. I love it. So here I am, and I'm going to light this bitch up, and I'm going to lose 100 pounds again, and it's going to come through creating a life beyond my wildest dreams. And so, we're going to leave this is a message to your future self right here. You did it. Don't stop dreaming. Don't stop believing. We're already doing it. It's pretty fucking magical. I think that was like everything I wanted to share with you guys this week. So if you're not in the school community already and you're listening to this, get your little ass over there because things are starting to get fun in there. Whenever you're watching this, just hop in. It's not like you're not behind anything. There isn't a whole like friggin' 50-hour course you gotta go do to know what you gotta do. You just come hang out, let it be easy, let it be fun, tap into your archetype and see how she can help you. See how your inner slayer or your queen or your alchemist is here to change and light this world up. And we gotta get to like making new names and stuff. I think I'll probably still be Slayer. I mean, shit, my kids call me Slayer now, so what are you gonna do? I think that's all I had, you guys. Let me see. Let me check my little show notes for you. We talked about weight loss. I will waiting Friday live on YouTube. I am not sure if I figured out how to live stream to Facebook or not. If I did, I'll be in both places, but just go to YouTube to be safe. Big dreaming energy, you guys. And I can't thank you enough for being here with me on this ride. We're just going to have so much fun this year. So make sure you subscribe, like, comment, share, do all the things to help get the word out there that we're creating something. We talked about this on our founding members call today. It's uncharted territory, what we're creating and what we're creating together. Like the alter ego is just the start of it. New shit is coming and it's coming. It's coming everywhere. And there's something with taking this alter ego into the planning that I already do that like we're just creating magic over there. So get your little asses in and let's have some fun. Like how I just called you little asses like 100 times. All right, witches and bitches, until next week, slay your ass.